Okay, so the next one says write the equation of a line that passes through 4, 2 and is perpendicular to that line. Okay, so perpendicular, we need to find the slope first, but the slope, it's not written in y equals mx plus b, so we need to make it into y equals mx plus b. We need to get rid of that 2. Since the 2 is multiplying with the y, we need to divide by 2. Two divided by 2 becomes 1, so it ends up canceling, becoming 1 times y, which is just y. This is 1/2. 2 divided by 2, 1. Okay, so that's my line. Now we're trying to write an equation of a line using the slope and the point. Well, in order for it to be perpendicular, perpendicular lines have the slopes are negative reciprocals. So the slope of this one is 1/2. We're going to get the reciprocal, which ends up being 2/1. And it's negative reciprocal. That means that you switch the sign. So since this is a positive, then it would be a negative. Negative 2/1, which is the same thing as negative 2. So that would be my new slope, because that would be perpendicular. So we have a slope and we have a point. So we have point, slope, point, slope. We're going to use point slope for. So point slope is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And I get that from the formula chart. Point slope, second one, there it is. Third one, sorry. We're going to substitute the numbers. So here I have my m is negative 2. And my x1, y1 is 4 and 2. So let me go ahead and put here y minus x minus. And let's go ahead and plug in the numbers. X1 is 4, so that goes here. Y1 is 2, so that goes here. And we do the distributive property. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. And I have y minus 2, bring this down. Then we solve for y. We want y by itself because we want y equals mx plus b. So we add 2, y equals negative 2x plus 8 plus 2 is 10. And there's your line. That's perpendicular and crosses through that point. So if I wanted to graph it, we can do so, and you will see that they will form a 90-degree angle. So let's go ahead and graph it. So I'm going to graph this first one because that's the line that they gave us. Y equals half 1 divided by 2x plus 1. That's the one they gave us right here. So that's what I have. And I'm going to plug in the one we just got, we just figured out, which is negative 2x plus 10. Okay, I'm going to try and get the glare out. Alright, so we're going to graph it. There's the first line, and there's our line. Okay, now that doesn't look perpendicular to me. It doesn't form a 90-degree angle. That's because of the way our window is. If we were to make it like a perfect square, it would look perpendicular. So we can do that by clicking on zoom. And we're going to go to the square one, which is 5. Alright, there's the first line, and there's the second. And if you can see, it forms a 90-degree angle. A lot prettier than the other one. It's the same equation, all I did was change the zoom. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to zoom standard, which is the way you normally see it. And the reason it looks like that is because here the tick marks are wider and here the tick marks are smaller. So when I click on zoom square 5, it makes the tick marks look identical, the same width, and that's why you're able to see the 90-degree angle. Alright, let's go ahead and do another one. 24. Write the equation of a line that passes through 3, -2, and is perpendicular to y equals 4. Y equals 4, it's a variable by itself, so it's either vertical or horizontal. Horizontal is y equals. So this is horizontal, y equals. Vertical is up, down, vertical is up, down. It's x equals. This is vertical. Oh, this is horizontal. Okay, so I'm graphing it. So I'm going to go to 3, -2. There's my point. And it's perpendicular to y equals 4. So here's my x, here's my y. Y equals 4. It's horizontal going through that point. Using a different color. That one's y equals 4. We want a line that passes through this point, and it's perpendicular to y equals 4. So that's y equals 4. And it wouldn't be this one, a line that goes this way, because that would be parallel. We're looking for perpendicular where they cross at a 90-degree angle. So therefore, it has to go exactly like this. And this is a vertical line, so vertical is up, down, vertical is up, down. It's x equals, where does it cross? 3. X equals 3. That's my answer. That's an equation of a line that passes through this point and is perpendicular to that line. It forms a 90-degree angle when it crosses. X equals 3 right there. Alright, let's go ahead and do another one. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Write the equation of a line that passes through that point and is perpendicular to that. Well, it's already in y equals mx plus b, so my slope is 2. I'm not going to use 2 as my slope, because if I use 2 as my slope, that would be parallel, because parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular means you get the reciprocal and you change the sign. So here it's 2 over 1. The reciprocal would be 1 over 2, and you change the sign. This is a positive, so it's going to end up being a negative. That would be my slope that I'm going to use for perpendicular. Here's my x1, y1. We have a point, we have a slope. So we're going to use point slope to find the equation of the line. Point slope is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Point slope is on the formula chart. Point slope, point slope, and there it is. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and plug in the numbers. It's a little blurry. It'll focus in a little bit. So m is -1/2, which will go here. Because we're using the perpendicular slope, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a line that's perpendicular to that other line. we're going to use x1, y1. x1 is -3, so that goes here. Remember, that's the minus, so -3, you need to put that negative. And then the 2. What ends up happening here, 2 negatives in a row, they become a positive. So we can make it a big plus sign. Then we do the distributive property. -½ times x. -½ x. -½ times 3. But this would be 3 over 1 when you're multiplying fractions. -1 times 3 is -3. 2 times 1 is 2. Don't be scared of fractions. And this one, y minus 2 equals that. Then we add 2 to both sides because we want y by itself, because we want y equals mx plus b. Y equals. Now I need to figure what this is. Now you can either do it the long way, or if you don't feel comfortable with fractions, you can do it on the calculator. I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator, and then I'll show you the long way as well. Second quit, so I can go here. Okay, so I have -3/2 plus 2. And it ended up with a decimal. We could change it to a fraction by clicking math, right here, math. And then the first one, fraction, enter, 1. And it's positive. And there's my answer. Now, let's say you wanted to do it the long way. Well, 2 is the same thing as 4 over 2. So, -3 plus 4, well, you subtract them. So that would end up being a positive 1 over 2. And that's it. Let me zoom out so you can see.